So what is the truth about the rock band Van Halen and brown M&Ms? Did they really hate them so much that they banned them from any sort of dressing or hospitality room at their concerts? Well, like all good stories, there's a bit of fact and a bit of fiction to this rock and roll fable. Give me a couple of minutes and I'll do my very best to explain what really happened. But before I do, let me give credit where credit is due. You see, I'm a big fan of Retro Fan magazine, and in the November 2022 edition of that magazine, there is an in-depth article on the history of M&M's candies, and that is where I was reminded about Van Halen's peculiar request. Now, with that acknowledgement out of the way, let's get rolling. When their debut self-titled album released in 1978, Van Halen set themselves apart as something truly special. Their unique brand of hard-rocking yet melodical metal was a breath of fresh air. The combination of incredible musicianship, along with David Lee Roth's over-the-top showmanship, proved to be a recipe for instant success. Before long, the band was filling gigantic concert halls and baseball stadiums, and along the way, they developed something of a reputation for their hard living and even harder partying on the road. I remember reading an article a long time ago in Life magazine about one of the band's peculiarities. Apparently, they specifically requested that a big bowl of M&Ms be included among the pre- and post-concert snacks provided. There was one catch, however. Yes, it is true. The band requested no brown M&Ms. However, the reason for that request might not be as nutty as you think. Back in 2012, while promoting the reunited band's new album, A Different Kind of Truth, David Lee Roth sat down and talked with NPR journalist Jacob Gans about that particular rock and roll legend, and he explained that there was method to the madness when it came to their request. You see, food and beverage instructions were just a very small part of the overall rider that was provided to a concert promoter when Van Halen committed to play in a specific town. Most of the instructions had to do with lighting and sound, things that were critical to how the band looked on stage, and even more importantly, how they sounded. And the band was able to see just how much attention to detail was paid to their instructions by just a quick glance over at their bowl of M&Ms. If brown M&Ms were present, they knew that they would need to review everything with an extra critical eye, because it was likely that other oversights had occurred as well. And when that happened, the band had a very special way of communicating their displeasure. Yep, their dressing room would get totally trashed. It might not have been the most eloquent way to communicate their dissatisfaction, but it does seem like the rock and roll thing to do. So there you go, the truth about Van Halen and brown M&Ms. Turns out Eddie, Alex, Sammy, and Dave liked them just fine. But they made that request as a tool to determine how much work would need to be done ahead of the concert to get everything ready to go so that they could blow their audience away as only the mighty Van Halen could. You know, it's still hard for me to believe that Eddie's gone. Thankfully, the music remains. What a gift he left behind. Not only his music, but his talented son as well, who's creating some amazing music of his own. Now it's your turn, folks. Please share your memories of Van Halen in the comments section. While you're at it, I would appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And what the heck, why not subscribe to the channel? This is where I talk about music from decades gone by. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. While I'm not sponsored by Retro Fan magazine, I sure am a big fan. If you'd like to check it out, I've posted a link in the description section of this video to their website where you can order physical or digital copies of their magazine. I cannot recommend it highly enough.